Hey everyone, so today we're diving into this quiet revolution that's totally changing the game in every store on every website. It's a huge shift in how we think about shopping, and it's being led by a new generation that's asking some really tough questions. Let's get into it.
So this is the big question we're tackling today. Why is Gen Z's approach to buying things sending these massive shockwaves through the entire economy? It's not just about what they're buying, but the why behind it, the values. And it's forcing literally every brand out there to either adapt or get left behind.
For what, decades, the whole model of consumerism was super simple, right? It was a straight line from a factory to your closet and then to a landfill. Think about fast fashion or that cheap furniture you know is only going to last a year. Well, that whole era of just constant wasteful buying is fading, and it's fading fast.
And that brings us to this key idea, the regenerative consumer. Now, this is so much more than just buying organic or, looking for a little recycling logo. This is a person who actually stops and asks, wait, was this made ethically? Does this brand actually stand for something I believe in? Is this thing even built to last? It's a whole different mindset.
Okay, so what really makes this new type of consumer tick? Let's start by breaking down the core values that are basically rewriting all the rules of the marketplace.
The single biggest change is this: a complete flip away from the brand loyalty we all grew up with. For older generations, a big famous brand name usually meant quality, maybe some status. For Gen Z, that's been totally turned on its head. It's not about what a brand is anymore. It's about what a brand stands for.
And you can see that shift so clearly right here. Where traditional shoppers were mostly driven by price and just recognizing a brand, this new consumer puts way more weight on things like sustainability and ethics. The entire checklist for what makes a good purchase has been completely reordered.
And this isn't some niche little trend, okay? According to recent consumer reports, a staggering 75%, 3/4 of Gen Z shoppers say that sustainability is more important to them than the brand name on the tag. That is a massive majority, and it's a number that's making every single company sit up and pay attention.
So what does value alignment even look like in the real world? Well, it looks like this: radical transparency. They want the whole story, not just where something was made, but who made it. Not just a vague promise that it's eco-friendly, but what was the exact carbon footprint. They want proof, not just pretty marketing words.
Now, this shift in values isn't just an idea floating around, it's literally creating brand new industries. So next up, let's look at how these principles are powering a full-on resale revolution.
You've probably heard this term being thrown around a lot lately, the circular economy. Well, this is the generation that's dragging it out of academic papers and into the mainstream. The idea is really simple. Instead of that straight line from factory to trash, products are meant to stay in use, to keep circulating, and to hold on to their value.
And here's what that actually looks like day to day. Step 1, you don't buy 5 cheap shirts that fall apart. You buy one really high-quality one that's made to last. Step 2, you use it, you enjoy it. And then, here's the crucial part. Step 3, when you're done with it, you don't just toss it. You resell it or you repair it, keeping it in the loop.
This whole mindset is exactly why platforms like Depop and Poshmark are just exploding right now. It's also why we're seeing this new fascination with artisan-made goods and what some people are calling 100-year products, items designed with such incredible quality that you can actually pass them down for generations instead of throwing them away. And this brings us to a really powerful concept. For the regenerative consumer, the choice not to buy something is just as important as the choice of what they do buy. It's a very deliberate move away from mindless consumption and toward mindful refusal.
But of course, with all this new demand for sustainability, you get a ton of empty marketing promises, right? So, how does this generation see through all the noise? Let's talk about their super sensitive radar for greenwashing.
It's so important to remember this. Gen Z grew up online. They're tech natives, and that's made them incredibly skeptical of what corporations tell them. They don't just take a brand's word for it. They jump on social media, they use apps, they talk to their friends online to actually investigate the claims. This pretty much sums up their whole approach. A brand can shout from the rooftops, "We're sustainable, we love the earth." But if a customer gets a package wrapped in 5 layers of pointless plastic, they are going to get called out for it online instantly. The reality has to match the marketing, otherwise that trust is gone in a second.
So, all of this leads to our final, and honestly, most powerful idea. For this generation, shopping isn't just about getting stuff. It's a form of activism. See, for them, all these issues are connected.
You can't separate environmentalism from social justice. A product can't be truly sustainable if it was made in a factory with terrible labor practices. It's all part of the same big ethical picture.
So at the end of the day, every single purchase becomes a choice. Am I going to give my money to this massive, faceless corporation? Or am I going to support a small business, an independent artist, or a creator in my own community? And more, they are choosing the little guy.
And this right here is the core philosophy. Every dollar you spend is a vote. It's like casting a ballot for the kind of economy and the kind of world you actually want to live in. It completely transforms shopping from this passive chore into a really powerful statement.
When it all boils down, this is what the regenerative consumer movement is all about. You're not just buying a sweater. You're not just buying a coffee table. You are supporting an entire system. You're taking part in this quiet, daily form of activism that, when we all do it together, has the power to actually reshape our world.
And that kind of leaves all of us with a pretty big question to think about. If every purchase we make is like laying another brick to build the world of tomorrow, what kind of world are you building with your choices? Thanks so much for tuning in.